Hi, welcome to the Modern Renaissance Man Show. I'm Ben Copeland, Modern Renaissance Man. Glad you could join us. We're going to give you another special this evening. We're going to do a monologue special. As if you didn't get enough of it each week, we're going to pack a bunch of them together, and throughout the show you're going to get to see some opening monologues. And with that, I'm not even going to interrupt them. We'll be back about midway with my special monologue blurb co-host, Kate S. Copeland. Hi, welcome to the Modern Renaissance Man Show. I'm Ben Copeland, Modern Renaissance Man, and you're not watching a movie, you're watching Almost Live. Speaking of Almost Live, we have now an abominable country, an abominable nation, an Obama president. Obama. Here we are, you're seeing this probably January 2009, where we're throwing it out here for you to see. History in the making. We have the first black American president. I think it's about time something different happened in Washington. And if nothing else changes, we've got a different race in the White House. Glad to see it. Gun commercials. When's the last time you've seen a good gun commercial on TV? You don't see too many of those, do you? You know, you have a bunch of people sitting around talking about how they pop somebody at a store, or maybe they pop some deer, or gun commercials. You know, we can have all these drug pushers basically shoving all these drugs at you 24 hours a day. Take this for some part of your body to go up, something to go down, to get big, to get round, to get tall, to get hair. No gun commercials, though. I guess dopers just have finally succeeded in getting the market of TV. You know, you can't even have cigarettes anymore, and that's a drug. Nope. Guess what? We have all these other drugs going. Wachovia execs. I'll tell you what, if you're a Wachovia exec, or used to be a Wachovia exec, you're probably doing real good right now. It's the only job that I know they pay you millions of dollars when you do a bad job and you get fired. Wachovia execs should be so lucky to get there. Bankers versus athletes. You know, people talk a lot about bankers make too much money. Look what we pay our athletes. You know, they go out and work a couple months a year. They make, a couple $100,000 a day. You know, they do a little workout in here and there. But everybody loves watching them. You know, bankers make a few million, athletes make a million. I think we need to take a look at our society. Welcome to the Modern Renaissance Man Show. I'm Ben Copeland, the Modern Renaissance Man. And guess what? We have a new president of the United States who made history. President Barack Obama went into office this year. So guess what we have to do? We can no longer blame George for everything. So I've had to try to figure out, and I've dug deep to come up with at least a first cut. It's something we can start saying about our new president, Obama, and that's, it's not broken, it's Barackin. So we're going to have to come up with that. Everything's Barackin going forward now, so we can blame Barack for it being Barackin. Anyway, we got new high-speed commercials coming on. Everybody thinks it's sort of a brand new creative thing. Actually, there was a show on in the 80s called Max Headroom, and they talked about these things called blipverts, where they basically took 3 minutes of commercials and condensed them down to 3 seconds. People blew up because the energy in their body absorbing the commercials at that rate. If you've never heard of that show, Max Headroom, it's a funky show. Blipverts. So we're getting there. They're going to be shoving commercials into you. They've already got them in the bottom of your screen. You can't even hardly watch the TV. It gets rather annoying now. Bush is left. Everybody's sad. Well, maybe 2 or 3 people are sad. Anyway, parts of me like Bush, but I tried to hide that part. Anyway, M&M's. Just think about it. If M&M's has to ever cut back, we'll just have M's. Won't that be a sad day in this world? M's. I like M's. Peanut M's. CMS. Can't manage.
Off the tongue right.
It just doesn't, does it? M's. Can I have
that
some M's?
That does not sound tasty and
yeah,
chocolatey and candy coated. It sounds.
But the times are tough. If they don't get their billions of dollars, they're from the country. We might
think
need
of how much money you would save.
Hopefully they'll be doing.
Just knocking off that
just
one
knock off
M.
one M. Yeah.
So much.
CMS. Talking about M's. Can't manage stuff. CMS, can you believe this? They have students that are basically put into the schools that, I guess you say, have learning disabilities, mental disabilities. Nice children. They're put in a lot of times in regular classes. they will actually suspend these children in school suspension if they misbehave or get loud in class. Well, these children, that's what they do. They get loud in class. And they talk loud. And they get boisterous. And you got some of them have Tourette's, and they may say some 4-letter words and things. And that's who they are. CMS suspends them. How stupid can you get? Oh, excuse me. They hired Hollywood Gorman. Well, sort of answered that one, didn't we? New tool out there for the criminal. I don't know if you've seen it. It's called the Listener. I don't know if you've seen those commercials yet. They advertise the Listener. You can actually sit there and eavesdrop on conversations. They show ones like the neighbors walking down the street talking about the neighbor that's sitting there listening. You could actually just think about it. Your boss could be listening to your conversations going on with a listener. Crooks could be walking down and listening to see if somebody's in your house. I don't think this is a really good product to be selling. I think a lot of people get really hostile with the listener. Speaking of the word listen, I have a new pet peeve. The newsreaders, not journalists, the newsreaders on the CNNs and MSNBCs and the Foxes and all of them, that I'm not impressed by any of them anymore. They have a new phrase called take a listen. Take a listen to this. Who is the idiot that started that phrase? Take a listen. Where are you going to take it? You know, you either take a look or you listen. You don't take it. You leave it because it's already there. You're not going to walk away with it. Take a listen. It just shows how bad our news readers have become. Talking about bad news readers, Rachel Mad Dog Maddox, or Maddow. I don't know if you've seen her on MSNBC. She's struggling on her career right now. With George Bush leaving office, she has nobody to bash anymore. She is struggling to find, and she's actually even talking about Bush after he's already left because she has nothing else to do. It's going to be interesting to see how long she hangs around MSNBC with, what's his face? Ogilvy, whatever. What's his name? Overman, yeah, that's it. Keith Overman, he's a newsreader too. He's not very creative either. He just does with other writers. Rachel Mad Dog, stay tuned. Let's see who she bashes next. I tell you who she ought to bash. She ought to bash Nancy Pelosi. Nancy Pelosi has her own jet. Expensive jet. Nancy said, I need to be able to fly back from Washington to San Francisco because I only work 3 days a week as a member of the House of Representatives, as the key member of the House of Representatives, Speaker of the House. They decided for security reasons that they would give her a private jet. Has to be able to go nonstop. So this nice little jet has a capacity of 200 people. It is a Boeing 737, can travel nonstop from Washington to, I believe, San Francisco, where she's from. They've trimmed it down and put in a couple bedrooms and taverns and bars, and I think a place for the band and the crew. So it only holds about 150 now. Nancy Pelosi's on jet. You know, you think about what that cost. Statistics I read was $60,000 one way. That's $120,000 a week, because she only works 3 days a week. Great job. I tell you what, I need that job. That's $480,000 a month. That's $5.7 million a year for the security of the Speaker of the House, of Nancy Pelosi. Personally, I don't see the risk associated with her. I think we could spend our money a lot more wisely than that. And Nancy, you know, you're the one that wanted the nonstop jet. You can say that you really weren't asking for that big of one, but if you want to fly nonstop, you got to have a big jet. The little Lear that would have taken a 1 hour stop to refuel, I'm sure that was just too much of a hassle for you. Hi, welcome to the Modern Renaissance Man Show. I'm Ben Copeland, the Modern Renaissance Man. One of the things we talk about on the show is, remember, alcohol is a drug. So if you're out there and you're partaking of moonshines or other wines, please be careful, because we want you to enjoy the whole show. Talking about things that are going on these days, the Treasurer of the United States wants to raise taxes. Isn't that interesting from a man who doesn't pay taxes? I don't think this is quite right. Bank of America basically yelled at 200 people who left the company for, I guess, better jobs or more stability, went to GMAC in Charlotte, and they're complaining that these people might be taking trade secrets. Well, don't let them go. And here to make it even better, they announced at the same time they're mad at these 200 people. We're probably going to lay off 45,000. Bank of America, I don't think you got much to say to the people who left to go to GMAC. It doesn't sound like you got a leg to stand on there with your employees. Here we are celebrating 100 days of the Obama Fest. President Obama in office. Today, what we're taping basically is April 29, 2009. You've had him for 100 days. We'll talk some more about that in a little bit. But guess what he got to do lately? He indirectly or allowed somebody to do a flyby in New York City. How about that? How would you like to be in New York City and you see Air Force One coming in about 500 feet off the ground? I think I'd probably have a flashback to 9/11. freaked a bunch of people out. I don't think that's a good way to start your or wrap up your 100 days in office, President Obama. MSNBC, Rachel Mad Dog Maddox. She always likes to bash George Bush. Here Bush has been gone 100 days, and they just won't let him go. You know, I guess if he died, they would just have nothing else to talk about. Right? They talk about how the funeral went. Anyway, she was bashing Bush and talking about, when Obama went over there and bowed to the Arab king, well, Bush kissed him and Bush held his hand. Well, Rachel, if you actually study the history and some of the social aspects of the Middle East, the kissing and the holding hands is the normal. The bowing is basically subservient. Come on, Rachel, pay attention to what's going on in the world. Let's just don't skew everything just because you hate George. Still, wake up. Hi, welcome to the Modern Renaissance Man Show. I'm Ben Copeland, the Modern Renaissance Man. We have a new president. It's not broken, it's Barackin. So let's all cheer for President Barackin Obama. We can't blame George, so we'll just say it's Barackin now. Anyway, CMS, our local school system, can't manage stuff. Guess what they're doing now? They're buying books in Cambodian language, and in addition to the Spanish language, and I think they got Vietnamese language, and I heard Laotian. And now they've come out and said, well, we think students are going to have to start buying some of their own books because the cost of books and to help keep costs down for CMS. Why are you buying these special books? I thought English was the language we taught in this country. CMS can't manage, you seem like you can't manage your books. I know you can't manage your budget. Hollywood Gorman, teach English in our schools. Get English books. If they can't speak English, get tutors to teach them how to speak English. Other friends that we have now, have you noticed the energy commercials that are on TV? All the gas companies are all our friends. Have you noticed that? They come out and say, well, if you have a 401k, you probably own some gas stock. Well, if you have a 401k and own some gas stock, any other kind of stock, it probably looks pretty bad because somebody else is getting the money because it's not going into the 401ks. I was on the elevator the other day, and we're talking about there's no really any more 401ks. They're all sort of 4Os or even down to the 4. So you might have a 4K and not even a 401k. Speaking of money and Wall Street and 401ks, how about this? You know, you can smoke some pot and get caught, and you'll go to jail. You can rip people off by billions and billions of dollars, and you can stay in a plush hotel. Now, does that make sense? We've got this guy up here that basically ripped off all these people's money. He's living high on the hog. He's sending jewelry out with his family. But you know what? Some poor old person out on the street and hadn't be caught smoking a joint of marijuana, well, they'll probably go to jail for a year. Yeah, this guy probably won't see any time at all.
Backwards.
I think we got some inequity here going on with that. Talking about other inequities, how about this guy that's going to be our new treasurer? I'm going to talk about him some more in just a moment here. I think his name's Ginther. Just got it basically approved in January for Treasurer of the United States. Here's a guy that between 2000 and 2007, 2008 forgot to pay his taxes 4 times.
It was an honest mistake.
That's an honest mistake. This guy basically kills me. I'll tell you what, I've been filing taxes since I was, I think, 18. I don't think I've ever even thought about the idea of forgetting. I might have wanted to, especially after I went and did the paperwork. How can you be this kind of person, makes all this kind of money, and forget, honestly? Of course, he paid some of them, I understand, right before he's confirmed, pay his back taxes. I don't think I want somebody in charge of the Treasury who, out of 7 to 8 years, forgets 4 times to pay his taxes. Well, I hope you're enjoying the Monologue special as much as I enjoyed putting them together. Hopefully some of it was funny, and some of it maybe not, and some of it was interesting. Anyway, with me tonight is my special blurb co-host, Kate S. Copeland. Kate, how are you?
Pretty good.
You look great. I like your outfit. What is the medallion you have around your neck?
Something Dixie gave me. It's a moon.
Dixie the artist. She's
Yeah.
also a supporter of the show. Well, I hear you're into something really wild. Twilight.
As of everyone else in my school.
Everybody else in your school. What is Twilight? Have y'all heard about Twilight?
It's pretty much just a book about a girl who, while she moves to this town, I'm not kidding, it's practically no sunlight. It's always raining.
Nice girl, huh?
Okay.
Anyway.
Anyway, so she ends up finding these vampires.
Oh. Nice vampires.
Yes. Well, I haven't finished the book yet, so I wouldn't
Okay.
know.
How far are you into it?
Halfway.
And there's a movie out, right?
Yes.
Has it already come out?
Yes, it's already come out.
Okay, so you're going to read the book first?
Yes.
It's a big book too, isn't it?
Yes, there are 4 of them, and they're all that thick.
Oh wow. I don't read that much. I read comic books. That's what I'm into these
Yes,
days.
I've
Read comic books.
noticed.
Yeah, I like the brain dead stuff. Although sometimes they have vampire kind of people in them. I read some of that. I doubt it's as anywhere intellectual as what you're reading.
Actually, I prefer these vampires. I mean, the good news is they don't turn into bats.
Oh, that's good. Have they got good-looking boy vampires?
I guess I don't know. I haven't seen the movie yet.
Uh-huh. Yeah, they all bite. Anyway, and with that, we'll be right back towards the end with our monologue special.
You just had to go there on that joke, didn't you?
Yes, I did. Hi, welcome to the Modern Renaissance Man Show. I'm Ben Copeland, the Modern Renaissance Man. You know, an interesting toy you can give your child that they can stare at for hours and probably not see anything. It's the little growing sea monkeys. I don't know if you ever had them in a little thing. I don't know what they really are. They're not really monkeys. What are these things?
Brine shrimp.
They're shrimp.
Brine shrimp.
They're shrimp. Okay. I've been wondering what that was.
Sound more fun to see.
Get some sea monkeys for your children. It's a pretty cheap thing probably. They can sit around for hours and watch them. I'm about watching stuff these days. We've been hearing about the swine flu thing. We're shooting this about in April. It took me a few days to realize that they weren't talking about the big spending bill that the Democrats and Obama passed earlier in the year. I mean, it's so full of pork, I figured that's where all the swine flu was coming from. You're supposed to laugh.
Yeah.
Anyway, swine flu, spending bill. Which one was it? Anyway, Pelosi. Just gotta love Nancy Pelosi. She just changes the tunes about every other day. One of the things I was watching with the Tea Parties on the people who are rebelling against the tax. She's out there saying that was basically rich people who are coercing middle class to go out and complain about taxes. Let me tell you, Nancy, I don't need a rich person to help me complain about taxes. You know, I can do that pretty much on my own. The torture issues come up with her now. And she's claiming, you know, there's got some footage that says, well, she was okay with torture when they talked about it in 2002. Well, I think she's saying that, well, when she heard waterboarding, she thought it was a new form of surfing. You know, she's from California also. I think that's where she's trying to say now, is that she just thought we were going to force all these people to learn how to surf. And that's how we were going to get information from them.
That's not.
What's a 3G network? You see this commercial on TV, and I wonder how many people watch these telephone commercials and actually know what a 3G network is. And as if you didn't know that, now they're going to introduce you to a 4G network. What are these networks? Here's a very important thing in life that you need to know, particularly if you're male. Never, ever, ever ask a woman if she's pregnant. That is just the worst question you can come up with. The only thing worse than that is asking a woman, when is she going to have her baby, only to find out she already has. Men, stay away from those questions and you'll be okay. Those are common questions that actually can happen in the workplace. I don't know if it's harassment, but you might get beat up.
How much? How much? That's a bad one to ask too, I think.
How much?
Yeah.
How much what?
You know, how much money?
How much money you make?
I'm with you.
Okay. We're going downhill fast. Here we go. Democrats been in power for 2 years. Why are they complaining about Bush? They're part of the problem too. Hi, I'm Ben Copeland, the Modern Renaissance Man. And if you're in a community watch program, you know, maybe you're one of these people checking out cars. I had one recently. I think they were wearing X-ray specs. Maybe not. I don't know. But anyway, they caught somebody throwing out a cigarette. What was interesting is on the same day, there was a busload of men riding around trying to grab teenagers and pull them in the car. So a letter's issued by the police saying don't throw cigarettes out. But I guess it's okay to have your daughter abducted. Maybe we need some better X-ray specs so we can look in these vans and see these men are abducting and not worry about the people who are smoking. Anyway, that community watch. Pay attention to what's going on in your neighborhood. The gold rush has cut back. Are you familiar with the gold rush? It's the basically shuttle service, the city of Charlotte, goes around to the parking lots, allows people to park at reasonable places close to downtown and then catch a ride into their workspace. The city's decided to cut back on it. Well, City Council, you wanted to have everybody working downtown. We built an undersized arena. We've got an over-expensive football field. We got all this building, all these condos, and you're going to cut back on something that benefits the community. Of course, I love the vision of our city council. Here's one for you. I've thought about running for city council. if I could get enough email, you can file this summer, I would consider running for city council. So if you think the Modern Renaissance Man might be a good candidate, I'm a native of Charlotte. I've lived as far away as Hawaii and come back. Send me an email. Maybe I'll run. Maybe I won't. I don't know. Well, it might be a tough one. Government. Met Pat McCrory walking down the street the other day. I told this story to somebody, they laughed because I just yelled out, "Hey, Pat!" And he turned around, come walking over like, figured he knew me. And then after he met me, he realized he wished he hadn't. But I introduced myself, and I'd been down there actually giving him a speech one time to City Council about public access television and reminded him of that. And I said, in general, we don't talk bad about you all the time. And he just sort of grinned and ran off real fast. So maybe I shouldn't be on City Council. But he's leaving, so I could be on City Council anyway. Hi, welcome to the Modern Renaissance Man Show. I'm Ben Copeland, the Modern Renaissance Man, and you're seeing this sometime in January. And I'll bet you tomorrow we're going to have history in the making, a new president. President Barack Obama, first black president in the United States. Yay! Actually, I'm glad for that because I think it's about time that black children in the United States had something really to look forward to. We haven't had many heroes in this country for a lot of children these days. Sort of disappeared. So I'm actually glad to have something new in Washington, somebody new in Washington, maybe a leader that a lot of children who don't have many dreams can look up to. If I told you I was a pathological liar, would you believe me? Anyway, speaking on that, Ford has a better idea. Or do they? Their better idea is let's take millions and billions of taxpayer dollars, let's put it into our company, help people keep jobs, and keep making gas-guzzling SUVs. That's a great idea, Ford. Sounds like the same one I've been hearing for the last 35 years. And we have the same execs who think they still should be running the company because they do a great job even though they're losing money and they're no longer the best car companies in the world. Ford has a better idea. Walmart has a new idea. Now this is a sad one. Walmart is going to start issuing ride equipment to their employees across the holidays so that they don't get trampled and run over. The poor old person, just think of how many times he tried to say hello as he was laying on the ground, getting trumped over by all of these rather large people running into Walmart. Because if you've ever been to Walmart, Walmart has typically a lot of large people. I can say that because I'm a large person. But getting trampled over and Walmart is getting run over. Riot gear for Walmart. Glad they're doing it. Have you ever thought about in Superman comics, Lois Lane has daddy issues? You ever notice that? I mean, she really wants this guy who comes in to take care of everything, fix her whole life, carry her around, save the day. Lois Lane. She needs to see a counselor. Has some real daddy issues there. Issues that I found also these days. You're getting on the Gold Rush bus here in Charlotte. It's a little free shuttle service that they have. It's probably about the only the thing free that's going on these days besides the public library. I have this resentment thing that I'm sort of developing about, should I get up and let a woman have my seat? And I start thinking, well, that same woman would probably take my job. So in the business world, should you have chivalry or not? Stand up and let her have a seat, and next week you're looking for a job, and she's riding on the Gold Rush, enjoying your money. Chivalry, where's it going to? I also find the people, while I'm waiting on it, you're standing there in line waiting for the little Gold Rush shuttle to come by, and here come 10 other people, and they just step right in front of you to get on first. I guess I'm losing some of my desire to be a chivalrous kind of guy anymore. This previous election, 2008, did you know that I got 2 votes for offices? That's correct. One of them was the Secretary of Agriculture, and the other one was, I believe it was the Secretary of Labor, possibly. It was write-in votes. And I know I got 2 votes for those write-ins. I can't tell you who cast the vote because that would be revealing somebody's anonymity. But anyway, I don't know if they put it in the paper, but the Modern Renaissance Man should have won the Secretary of Labor. I really think I want to run for that because I want my picture in every elevator in the state of North Carolina. Who is this Cherry Berry woman, and why do we spend millions of dollars to keep putting her picture in there? I want to be Secretary of Labor, and that way everybody can see me when they get on the elevator. Speaking of issues, MSNBC, who are they going to talk about now that Bush is out of office? Keith Olbermann, he hates Bush. Who's he going to talk about now? His whole show is focused around how much he bashed Bush. Well, I guess now he's going to have to figure out something else. Maybe they'll just go ahead and get rid of him. I think he's pretty poor with regards to a newsreader anyway. Hi, welcome to the Modern Renaissance Man Show. I'm Ben Copeland, Modern Renaissance Man. and you're seeing the 4th year anniversary show. Yay! Woo! We're partying like werewolves under the moon. Here, we're going to howl all night. Oh! Anyway, we're glad you join in with us. And while you're watching this and enjoying it, just think me and my family are sitting here and we're watching Phantom of the Opera at the Blumenthal Theater. So enjoy the show without us and tell us about it after we get home. Anyway, we're glad you're here. Of course, I want to talk about a few things before we get going some more on this show. Let's talk about old President Pelosi. I mean, Speaker Pelosi. She talks so much it's just hard to know. Speaker Pelosi, she's really just gotten sort of trouble here lately talking about her interaction with the CIA and this whole waterboard torturing kind of stuff and whatever. What's the truth? What's not the truth? Last thing I heard was that Pelosi emphatically said she did not sit around in briefs with the CIA. She sat around maybe in a blue dress. But that leads back to one of her predecessors, so hopefully, Nancy, you'll get your story straight. Don't sit around in your briefs with a bunch of men talking politics. That's probably not a good thing for you. Other good things, talking about the torture issue. I think we ought to do the waterboarding. So passe. I think we should set them in chairs, tie them up, and use these little Nerf guns with the little Nerf balls, and just hit them in the head. And there's no damage, but just, after about 10,000 of those, boing, boing, I think they will probably tell you anything. And we can let teenagers do it too. Anywhere, say, from the idea of, say, about 10 up to 14. Just all take pot shots at them. They'll be screaming their secrets out. Well, we hope you enjoyed the monologue special as much as we enjoyed sitting here this whole time while you watched it. Not. Anyway, with me, of course, Kate S. Copeland, my blurb co-host for all the special shows that you get to see. I'm Ben Copeland, Modern Renaissance Man, in case you forgot the top probably 10,000 times I said it in the last 30 minutes. Anyway, we have a website, a blog site, www.mrmtv.org. Check it out. Put your comments, see what you got to say. Most of the time I will try to respond in some given month. As usual, I always want to thank the crew that put on this show. Without the camera people, this show would not happen. Dano, my director, Dean Smart on audio, and Kate S. Copeland, Key Grip Roman, host cam operator. Jennifer manages the green room, and we didn't have the band tonight, but stay tuned. You're going to see lots more in the future. I'm Ben Copeland, Modern Renaissance Man, and as my director told me to say, you're not. Have a good evening.